Okay guys, this is Graphics once again, and today I'm doing this video. Okay guys, this is Graphics, and we are going to retouch this video, and we're going to do basically 2 or 3 things on this particular image. I was not the one who shot this image. It was a friend called Cabello that shot this image and sent it to me for retouching. I'm going to teach you how to change the background of this particular image, and after that I'm going to show you how to do color grading and retouching of this image. So guys, let's continue. Let's continue by pressing Ctrl J by duplicating this image. When you're using Mac, it's Command J. Now, before we change the background of this image, I want us to do some few adjustments. So you go to filter, then you come to camera raw. Let's adjust it. What I do is, when you look at this image, there are a lot of highlights. You can see it even in the dress, and the colors cannot pop out well. So let's bring all the highlights down. Then let's bring the white also down. Let's try to decrease the shadows a little bit, and let's bring in a little bit of clarity. Then let's bring in a little bit of contrast. So guys, let's look at the before and after. So before, after, before, after. Don't worry, that's why we are here, to work on the image so that it looks better. So you click OK, and I'll duplicate this image again. So what we are going to do now is we are going to change the background. So let me type changing Biki background. So guys, so you are changing the background. So what you are going to do is you select this image, you come to select, then come to subjects. Now, especially these options are being used when you have a blur a neutral background. That means that there's nothing that is distracting your image over here. So let's turn off all these ones. Then what you are going to do is we'll go and take our laser tool, come over here, because the reason why you are going to do this is because it has selected your subject. Remember, you said subject, but you are not working on the subject. We are going to work on the background. So when I delete this, obviously it has deleted the subject. So the subject is not what you are going to do with. You are going to do with the background. So you go to invert what is that even? Invert, select inverse, sorry, select inverse. When you select inverse, you get to know it changes from the to the back. So now when you delete, you see that it has caused some effects over here. So let's Ctrl Z to bring it back, and let's mask over here by clicking on the mask over here. Now when you click on the mask, you get to know that it has selected your subject and it has left your background. That means that there was something wrong over here. So let's see, let's delete and see. Okay, so it's 2 things. You can delete your subject, then you can also mask. So when you are masking, invert, then let's mask and see. Okay. So, okay guys, we have seen that our subject has been selected. Now we are going to mask our subject out of this background. So what you are going to do is you come to your select tool or the moving tool, then you come to the mask layer over here, you click on it, and you see that your subject has been your background has been selected, and you have left your subject on a blur background, on a plain background. So what you are going to do is you come back to adjustment layer, then you choose your solid adjustment layer, then you come down, you bring it down so that it will be beneath. So guys, you can see we have changed the background of this particular image. So you can come over here, just click on it. Now you can click on this one. So you just click on this ones, then begin to manipulate the colors. So you can choose any color of your choice. Now with this particular image, I've worked on it before. I think I taught on how to create Photoshop or record Photoshop action with this particular image. So you can see that so you can change your background. You can change your background to any color that you want, or any color that you see to what you want to do. So Caballo, I'm working on your image. So anything. So I don't know this color to use. Orange for this image. Okay. And one thing is, you can also duplicate this. Maybe if you are not conversant or you are not okay with your background, you can duplicate it and you might choose. So Ctrl J will duplicate it after you have selected it. So I'll just come over here, come and click this one, just look at something. Yeah. So okay, so that is it. Now mostly you see a lot of picture that we have a spotlight, like they have how should I even say it, they used a spotlight to create some kind of light within the middle so that it vibrates the background. Let me show you what I'm trying to mean over here. So we have the various ways of doing it, and I might try one or two, only one if it goes well. So you come for a new layer, then I'll come and choose my color. So this color, if it should be a spotlight, if the light falls on the background, that means that it's going to be light. So I'll just come over here and choose a lighter color, then click OK, then come for my brush, then increase the size of my brush. Okay, so when your caps lock is on, what will happen is you see this plus sign, so you just press your caps locks and the bracket key will enlarge in your image. So this is what the spotlight you are going to create. So you can bring the opacity down, or you can just leave it like that. After you are finished with it, then you increase your you decrease or increase your opacity depending on how you want it to look like. So let's look at something over here, guys. So let's look at the hardness. The hardness of your brush should be 0. So let's do something like this. Guys, can you see? So see, before, after. So you can see that it has brought some kind of vibration between that image. Okay, so that is, we are using this color because we are using this color. Is it orange? Yes, because you are using this orange color. Okay, so you can either decrease it over here, so you can see very, I don't know guys if you can see what I'm doing. So before, after. So this one is an effect that has been created, so you can decrease it. $35 still over there, so let's go to somewhere 40. Okay, I think it's okay now. So let's group this, or let's do the before and after of this image. So guys, I'm taking my time on this particular image because most of us do say that we are beginners, so I'm taking time on this particular image so that you understand what we are doing. Okay, so let's look at before, after, before, after. So there are more to be done on this image, so let's try to do some few color correction, then we continue with it. Okay, so Ctrl J, and listen guys, for you to be safe, most at times for you to be safe, what you do is you can use the same image so that the color correction that you're coming to do will not affect the background. So let's duplicate this image. Okay, then let's name this one color correction. Okay, so you select this, then let's come to camera raw filter. Yeah, because you have masked and the masking is not working over here, so you see the actual image, but after you are done it will work. So let's come to the oranges and push it a little bit, the luminance, so that the face will bright. Then let's come to the red saturation, then let's increase it so that the reds will pop. Okay, if you think the highlights for the red is too much, we bring it down a little bit. So guys, you can see I always like the before and the after, so you can see the difference. This is the before and this is the after. Okay, so when you look at the yellows, it looks somehow dull, but let's bring the saturations up a little bit. So guys, you can see the yellows by having effects on the face, but no problem, we are still doing color correction. Then you see some small highlights over here, so let's bring down the highlights a little bit. So guys, you can see I take -50. So when you're comparing the two images, you get to know that there's a drastic change that has happened to this image. Okay, I think let's come to the basics and let's add small exposure, small one. So yes, small exposure. So let's click OK and let's see how. So let's look at the before and after. Before, after, before, after, before, after. So guys, you can look at the yellows over here so that you understand what we are really talking about. So before, after, before, after. Please follow me very carefully. Because of time's sake, some of the things we need to be very fast. So I hope you have understood. Okay, let me calm down. So what we did is we duplicated our image over here, then we went to filter, we went to select, then we went to select subject, then we selected the subject. After the subject was selected, we went straight by clicking on the mask, then we went to solid adjustment color, then we selected it and we chose the color that we want. After we chose the color, we brought it down below our masked subject so that it will pop under it. From there we went to the color correction. I hope guys we now understand it. So over here, what we are going to do is we are not going to stress the image or that, like you're not going to stress it much. Let me put it that way. You're not going to stress it much because I think the lens that was used was not an L lens, or yes, an L lens in Canon. Canon's lenses are called L lenses, but this one I think it was shot with Nikon. Okay, so let's start with the retouching. So Control Alt Shift E will duplicate the merge and duplicate the image so that you can work on it. So the guys you that have followed me for some time now, you know that before I started even with my frequency separation, I take off the blemishes before I start with the frequency separation. So you come to your spot healing brush over here, then we start taking the blemishes. So that's how we do take the blemishes. That's how we do take the blemishes. Okay, that's how we do take the blemishes. But sometimes you can't take all. When you are in your frequency separation, you can do equally that. Okay, so you continue to remove anything that is distracting your image. Okay, let me take this thing off. Okay, so anything that is being distractive to the image, you take it off. Okay guys, so please follow the process. So now let's look at the before, after. So you have taken most of the blemishes. Now let's go straight to our frequency separation. Please, if you need some actions, you can comment within the comment section, add your email to it, and I'll send it to you. But guys, don't forget to subscribe and share. You guys are not subscribing at all. We are not sharing too. Please share to your friends, invite them to the platform. So I've chosen the frequency separation, so the blur is 10, so it's okay for me over here. Then I click stop. Now you know that when you come to frequency separation, this one is the texture and this one we use for color correction. So over here is the blur. In some of the actions, you see low and high. The high is the texture and the low is what is used for the smoothing of the skin. So what you are going to do, you are going to use the mixer brush. You come to your brushes, then you choose your mixer brush. Let's hide this so that I have the white screen. So you choose your mixer brush and make sure that you have always clicked on this so your brush will be clean. So if you have followed most of my videos, now if I'm retouching with the mixer brush, we take off the texture, then we begin to apply our mixer brush. Guys, when you're applying this, you should, I can't do it like this because of how the face, so you do it as the face looks like, so, or the shape of the face. The more plastic it becomes, the more perfect the work is. And please, when you're masking too, especially, you should come back and look at what you are doing if you are doing something better. Oh guys, now I think the effect is too much, so let me reduce my wet to 9. Let me reduce my wet to 9 so that, okay, so let me bring it back a little bit. Okay, so I reduce my wet to 9, then I begin to paint so that I will not overdo things over here. Okay, so I'll begin to paint. So guys, I hope you are following. Don't get lost. Okay, don't get lost. We are still going to continue with the retouching with the laser tool. I hope those that have watched my video, please, if you are new over here, don't watch the video and go. Please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, please. Subscribe to my channel. So we are done with the changing of background, color correction. But the color correction, we'll be doing it because when you look at the color over here and here, it's different. So let's bring the texture back and see. I think we have done most of the work. Okay. So let's look at the before and after with this image. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay. Let's use the laser tool. You come to the laser tool, let me zoom in, then you begin to draw. Now, before you use the laser tool, always make sure that with this particular image, I'm going to use the feather to be 20 pixels. Okay, so take note of that always, or else when you apply it, the edges will be so much sharp and it will be visible to your viewers, and they will get to know that you have applied something. it will be too visible. Okay, so I'll go to filter, Gaussian blur. Okay, so over here we use 10, so I've told you already, so it will be ×2 or ×3. So let's use 30 and see, and 30 is okay for this image. This is the technique when you're using the laser tool. Okay, so we'll come over here, come over here, then apply. So you come over here too, come over here, apply. You come over here, you come over here, apply. You come over here, you apply. You come over here, you apply. Always when you are using the laser tool with under the frequency separation, make sure that it's always on the blur. Okay, so let's come to the neck. I pray that this thing will not bleed, the chain will not bleed inside the skin. Okay, I think it didn't. Okay, so you can see, guys, let's do a little bit of frequency. Let's use a mixer brush over here, because I'm seeing that this place is not all that even. So, and one important use of the mixer brush too is also used to blend colors, like to make it uniform. So before, after. Okay, so you can see, guys, this is the before and this is the after. After using this frequency separation for this. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to, when you look at the neck area, look at the forehead, you look over here, the color doesn't match, so you are going to match it. So let's name, so you come to adjustment layer and you choose solid adjustment layer. That's what I use. You click OK, then you invert it so that you can see your image. Now, so let's name it skin color. Skin color, so that we can make the image look even. Hope, guys, you are following. So what you are going to do is you double click on this, then your color picker tool comes, then you select any place on the face that you think it will match. So let's select the bright side, like this one. Then you can change it to soft light, or you can change it to color, depending on how you want to match it. But let's put it on soft light at the moment. Then let's go back to our normal brush. Then we should decrease the size of our brush by pressing the bracket the left bracket on your keyboard. So let's begin to paint. Guys, don't worry much about what you are seeing now, because you are going to make sure that it matches with the face, and that's what we are here for. So don't worry. So you can see we are trying to blend it. I hope you guys are following. If it's your first time over here, please try your best to subscribe and press on the notification bell, so that any moment that I upload videos, you get a notification and you watch my videos. Okay. Okay, now so let's go back to the blending option over here, and let's change it to color, and let's see what you are going to have. Okay, so we're having this. It has bleeded, so we need to clean it. So you can see it has entered into the dress. We need to bring it down. Okay, guys, so let's reduce the opacity. Let's reduce the opacity. 50. Let's reduce it to the time I think it's okay. I hope you guys are following. So let's look at it before, after. Can you guys see it? Before, after, before, after. Because it's very down, that's why you might not see, but it's working. So 17. Let me move up so that you can see before, after. Yeah. So bring it down, of which you think is matching the face now. So 31. Okay. 12, 17, 19. Okay. I think I've gone too much. Okay. You are leaving no stone on 10. Okay. 12. So see, before, after, before, after, before, after. So I think we have done something better now. Now, since you have matched the skin, we've done the skin color. You press on the shift key, then you select all, Control Alt Shift E. Then let's go back to Camera Raw and let's work on the image. So back to Camera Raw. Then what you are going to do right now is we are going to tweak the colors and see. So let's bring the reds down a little bit, the blues, then let's try the greens and see. So guys, I hope you can see what I'm seeing. Then let's bring it down here. Okay, so you can bring the before and the after so that you can see the difference in what you are doing. Okay, so let's see. So this is another form. If you push the reds to the other side, you can see the yellows. So let's maintain it somewhere here. Okay, so you can see the before and you can see the after. Now, since you have done this, let's look at before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay, so let's try to do some dodge and bend to this particular image. Then from there, we whiten the teeth and the eye. Okay, so where's my dodge and my bend? So you zoom in, and for you to see the difference between the shadows and the highlights, I mostly use the black and white. Then I bring the reds down so that I see the difference between the highlights and the shadows. Okay, so I take my dodge, then I reduce my opacity of my brush to 10. Flow is 10. Then I increase my brush. Flow is 100%, sorry. Then guys, you see, so you can see the effect. So depending on how your brush is, then you begin to paint the highlight. Begin to paint the highlight. Now, if you have watched most of my videos, I do tell you that there are a lot of people that want their images to look plastic. Yeah. Now, sometimes you can also push the images so that it will look plastic, but with this particular image, we leave it like this without making the image look plastic. Okay, so let's continue to, let's come to the bend, then let's bend the bendables. So here using the mouse, you need to be very careful about the pressure. The pressure. I'm not using a Wacom tablet, a graphics tablet, so sometimes dealing with pressure. When you talk about the pressure, it means that there are some places that it shouldn't be, that like the highlight shouldn't be too hard, like it should be soft. It should be soft. That's the meaning of pressure. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at how our dodge and bend has been. Okay, so let's group this so that it will make it more easier. So let's name this D and B, which means dodge and bend. So before, after, before, before, after, before, after. Okay, so guys, let's try to, this image is, because it's in 8-bit, when you begin to add more of the highlights, you begin to experience some lines, circled lines, and variation of colors in it. So when it comes to brighten this image, you need to be careful. Okay, so we need to increase the highlights small over here. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invert it. Then I begin to paint. Though I've done the dodge and bend, I'm going to paint some places. Like the face and other stuff. So let's see. Before, after. It is working. Okay. Because I've done the dodge and bend, I don't want to. Okay, so there's this over here, skin glow. And with this skin glow, I'm going to add the black and white to it, so that black and white, so that I can see it's like the dodge and bend. So let me see the black and white over here. Then let's push the reds a little bit. Then let's come to the skin glow, increase my opacity to 100, then begin to paint. Don't worry, I'm going to reduce it, so don't worry. Then let me bring my flow down and flow to somewhere 20. Sorry, brush. Then begin to paint. The highlights. Okay, so begin to. It's just like what we are doing first, not anything. You just use the curve adjustment layer and increase it to the brightness. That's all. There's nothing different. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Let's take the blacks out. You can see it's too much, so you come to the glow and reduce it. Should reduce it. You reduce it. Reduce it. So guys, you can see. Okay, eye whitening. So yes, eye whitening. So let me use the eye enhancement layer. Now what the good aspect of actions is it makes your work more easier and simple, stress-free, so that you don't spend much time creating one action to the other. Yeah. So reduce the brush and paint this side. Then we come to the sparkle, iris sparkle. Then you paint it like this, round. Then you come here, you paint it round. Okay. Then you come to the iris color, you paint it. I think, let me reduce this. It's popping into the eye. And looking at how it is, the mascara, you need to work on these ones. Yeah, so I'm going to teach you how to work on these ones. That's why you're not going to have the action, but you're not going to use the action to create that effect. So you press on the X so that you can work on it. So X to reduce it. Okay. So you can see. Now let's go to the teeth whitening. So teeth whitening. Okay, so let's reduce our brush a little bit so that we can do it well. Okay. So I hope guys are following, please. Let's follow. Let's follow. Let's follow. I know it's a whole tutorial on its own, but when you're able to watch to the end, you get the entire concept. Okay. Okay. So guys, you can see over here. Now when you think that the eyes are not all that bright to your expectation, you can come to the curves, then you increase it a little bit, then you come to Control I to invert it, then you paint it so that you get your desired results. Now with the mascara, I'm going to teach you how to make it pop. Very, very important. How to make it pop. Please, if you are hearing any background noise, forgive me. Okay, so you can see before, after, before, after. Okay. So if you think it's too much, you can also reduce it. So you can name this eye lightening. Eye lightening. It looks like our layer panel has become more clumsy, so let's group this. Then what you are going to do is the mascara. You go back to, you can use the selective color or you can use the curve adjustment layer. You come to your blacks, you push it to the left, you come to the black. So guys, don't worry, you are using this for the mascara. So you invert it, then you come to the eye. So when it's black, you use white. Let's check. Okay, so opacity 100%. Then you begin to paint, but you should be very careful about your brush. Okay, so let's paint. So with the eyelash, you can decrease the opacity small so that it wouldn't be too visible. Yeah. Okay. So let's come over here too and increase the to 100%. Then please forgive me with the background noise, please forgive me. So let's decrease the opacity down, okay, so that we paint here and make it look even. So let's paint here, okay, so that I can feel that. Okay, so after you are done and they think that it's too much, you just reduce it over. So let's look at it before, after. Okay, so let's come again to our selective color. Now let's push the blacks a little bit. Now guys, you can see the before and the after of this. Before, after. Yes. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to do is let's add a little brightness to this. So let's go to brightness. Because you have done your dodge and bend, please, if you're adding brightness, you need to be extra careful so that it wouldn't affect your image. So a little bit of contrast. Yeah. Very well. You are going to make the makeup pop. So you come to your adjustment layer. You come to hue and saturation. Then you push your saturation up. So I think 13 is okay. So Control I to invert it. Then you begin to paint the back of the eye. So the opacity 24, 54, I think is okay. Or you can still increase the opacity to 100 and come and lower the opacity over here. So come over here too. We do the same thing here. So we decrease the brush. Show that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if you think it's too much, as I told you, you come and reduce it over here. But let's wipe this one. By pressing S on your keyboard to change your brush. Then you can wipe it a little bit. It's over there, but you shouldn't add there. Okay, so guys, you can see, isn't it looking awesome? So the last thing that we do, let's sharpen this image. So image sharpen. Okay, so you come to filter, then you come to order, you come to high pass, then I'm going to reduce it down. I like the word Okay, so I think 1.7 will be okay. I click OK, then I come and change the blend mode over here. Guys, notice it, either to hard light, either to vivid or linear, but most of the times I like to use soft light. Yes, so let's see before, after. The soft light doesn't make the sharpness look all that harsh, so you can create a mask. There are some places that is supposed to look all that sharp, so like the mouth, can paint here. So if it's white, then your brush needs to be black. Okay guys, you can see, let's group all and let's look at the before and the after of this image. Let me zoom in a little bit, go here. So before, after, before, after, before, after. In fact, we didn't make this image look plastic, and this is how I want this image to be. So guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, try your very best to subscribe my channel, and all regards to Cabello that gave me this particular image. Guys, try to subscribe and share. Once again, have a blessed day. Bye bye.